Well, that's another thing, brother. I'm glad you brought that up. I hear about all these great athletes. And let's talk actual pedigrees. 10 varsity letters in high school.
Wow.
4 in football, 3 in track, 2 in wrestling, and 1 in basketball.
Really?
Recruited by all the major units. Won the states. My senior year, got beat one time my junior year. Lost one wrestling match my whole life. My shot put record stands for 50 years. Recruited by every major university in the country. Played for SMU for 4 years, started for 4 years, was their captain. I mean, yeah, okay, everybody's a great athlete. I'm saying, well, let's look at pedigrees. Almost threw the word I shouldn't. Sometimes I get fired up, Marcus. You know it. Sometimes I get, give me a hole, brother. Oh! That was like, thank God we just got chickens and ducks for neighbors.
You know, you can curse on here if you want to, Jim. If you get fired up.
Oh, I don't like to curse, but that's like Jake's show. F this, F that, you know. I try, you know, once in a while something pops out. Like, nah, you know.
Well,
yeah, I try to get my point across without cursing.
I didn't realize that you had lettered in 10 sports. That's or 10 categories in sports. I guess it would be, but that's
well.
Incredible.
I started as a freshman in football, and then of course junior, sophomore, senior. Then I did track for 3 years, and then basketball I tried for 1 year, and then switched to wrestling. And I made it to states my first year of wrestling, and I got beat at the states. And as a senior, I went back and won the states. And then, like I said, my shot put right, like, get those kids some Cheerios up there in that town. I mean, 50 years. Come on, guys. And it's not that big of a toss, you know. Everybody like get 10 yards farther nowadays. Like, you know, but yeah, I had a good high school career. I had a great, you know, I grew up in Mayberry. Everybody says I grew up in these horrible conditions. I had 3 sisters. I had a loving father and mother. I had a great upbringing, man, in a nice little town. So I had a lot of support. And then I became a wrestler. I came home as a wrestler. I had, like I said, I got 3 older sisters. They were all crying. I came home long hair and a beard, you know. Jimmy, what are you doing? And I'm trying to make a living.
And everything seemed like it turned out pretty okay. And, you know, you had mentioned, you know, football. And actually one of our questions here from Sixburg 64SS is about football. They ask, I know Hacksaw played college football at SMU, and many sources state that he was drafted by the Falcons, but I can't find any records of what year he was selected. Also, I know
it was 1978, but I wasn't drafted. I went as a free agent and got hurt during preseason. So they kept me on contract all year, so I got paid. So that was actually the criteria to be part of the union. You know, you need like 4 years back then to get a pension. But if you get paid for a full year, you can join the union. So for a few years, Deborah and I would do all the NFL conventions. And all those guys like, why is that wrestler here?
You qualified.
My 1 year, and guys, I got it. Then I went up to Canada. I was an offensive guard, dime a dozen. You know, I saw I had no real future after 2 major knee surgeries, especially back then. The knee surgery, they didn't know what they were doing. And I said, well, I'll give that Fritz von Erich a call. And Fritz gave me the gift of wrestling. But yeah, I wasn't drafted, but I was with the Falcons in '77 and got hurt during preseason.
So you were playing in a preseason game, and what happened?
Just extra point. Everybody just fell on my leg. Nothing. Nothing really. Yeah, I figured come up with a better story. You know, like my kidney cancer scar. I got this big scar with a kidney cancer, and people are like, oh, what happened? I said, well, you know, I was swimming, a big shark hit me, and I got my thumb in his eye. Really?
Now, did you have any like notable?
One day they fell on me. I hurt my leg, tore the ligaments and cartilage. And then, of course, back then. It was when Elvis died. I was in the hospital when Elvis died, the Atlanta Peachtree Hospital.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll never forget that moment.
No, you do. Yeah, because especially back then, you know, they had like, here, bite this. What do you have for pain? Put this in there. If I only was a wrestler back then, I'd be like rainbow stew.
What number? He also wants to know what number you wore. He wants to get a Falcons jersey with your name and number on it.
Well, I never. 79 was in camp.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So 79.
Yeah,
There
same
you
number
go.
I had in college. Yeah.